And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Frank H. And Frank H. writes, "Hello, community. John, I know you love Knives Out. I completely did. I love that movie. And I did too. So I wanted to know if you saw that they just cast their first new cast member, Dave Bautista. Drax the Destroyer himself. They haven't said anything about his character yet, but I'm sure he'll be one of the new suspects. What do you think of the casting, and how do you think Dave will do in it?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in, man. And yes, I love Knives Out. I cannot rave about that movie enough. I was so taken with this very simple, Rob, it's a very simple film. The old Agatha Christie kind of murder mystery, gather a bunch of great talented people together, put them in a couple of rooms, film this mystery. It was fan-freaking-tastic. And of course, because he made it so fantastic, Rian Johnson got rewarded with a $468 million check from Netflix just for the rights to put his next two Knives Out up on Netflix. Well, anyway, we know they're going to start shooting Knives Out 2 in just a couple of months. And yes, but not only did we just find out, Rob, that Dave Bautista is the first new cast member. Of course, he'll be joining Daniel Craig, who returns as the inspector. But the first new cast member they have added is Dave Bautista. But breaking news, not only is Dave Bautista been added, Ed Norton has joined as well. And I love it. Listen, Ed Norton, look, he started to develop a bit of a reputation around Hollywood as being very, very difficult to work with. And so we haven't seen him a lot. But man, remember him in Birdman, Rob? Acting alongside Michael Keaton. How good was he in Birdman? Well, forget it. How good is Ed Norton in everything? He's great in everything. So now we've got our first two new cast members joining in for Knives Out 2, and Dave Bautista and Ed Norton. You know, I have been a big fan of Dave Bautista. He sometimes has verbal diarrhea. He sometimes talks when he shouldn't talk, and he sometimes says some pretty stupid things, but he's learning. He's learning. I've been a big fan of this guy for a long time. You will rarely find a more humble, genuine person in this business than Dave. He's always been great. When we did our 24-hour marathon for the typhoon relief in the Philippines, he was the first guy to say, "I'll participate with you and help you raise some money." I mean, he's just that type of a dude. I couldn't be happier for him. And of course, Ed Norton. He's Rob, I like to refer to Ed Norton as my co-star in that Incredible Hulk movie. I think that's how Ed Norton refers to himself when he goes to parties. "Hi, my name's Ed Norton, co-star with John Campea in the Incredible Hulk movie."
Absolutely.
But as somebody who loves Knives Out and cannot wait for a Knives Out 2, I love these two editions. Rob, you had a chance to see these editions here. What do you think of them?
I think they're great. I mean, you know, one of the great things, obviously, I think that's going to become a staple of these movies is the diverse cast. And when I mean diverse, I mean great actors, a bunch of great actors that are put together that you wouldn't have normally thought would even get together. And yet that's what I think that's the great appeal of at least the first Knives Out, is how many great disparate actors came together to be in that movie. It was awesome.
And it just had a flow and just a personality to it. And I was just hanging, and you can't make one of these kind of Agatha Christie things without a great central character. And what is the Blanc? Is that Daniel Craig's?
Benoit Blanc.
Yeah, I love the character. This is great new addition for the cast. Question is to you guys. You just seen they've just added two new cast members, the first two new cast members to Knives Out 2, and Dave Bautista and Ed Norton. I think these are terrific additions for what I'm sure is going to be a terrific film. What do you guys think about it? Jump on down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Okay, guys.